Hello YouTube, my name is Nero, and today we have some Titanfall for you guys, and more specifically, we're going to be talking about the new update that happened to Titanfall. So on April 10th, there was a whole new patch, a whole new update for Titanfall, and a bunch of different things were changed, or added, or removed, or fixed, and we're going to go over all of those in this video. To kick things off, I figure we should talk about some of the new features in Titanfall, the biggest one being private matches, which are still in beta mode. And I never thought I'd have to say this, but they're adding private matches, but right now they're currently in beta, but you can still play in them. So basically, we have private matches, and they support 2 to 12 players with 1 to 6 players on each team. One of the downsides, I'd say, to this new private match system is you need 2 people to be able to start a match. And that kind of stinks. Like, I kind of just wanted private matches so we can just run around by myself in a private match and just start wall running and parkouring around the maps and doing stuff like that. But having to have one person there with me, I guess, isn't the worst thing in the world, but I still would have preferred it if I could have gone in there solo. But basically, it's just like any other private match from any other game. You can play, you can pick any game mode, you can play on any map. You don't get any XP, no challenge progress, no achievement unlocking or anything. At the end of the matches, it will actually let you know how much XP you would have earned if this were a public match, but you don't actually earn any XP. And one of the more interesting things about the private matches is they are all hosted on Xbox Live's cloud computing system, so it's all dedicated servers. It's not peer-to-peer hosting, so that's a pretty neat thing. In this new Titanfall update, they also updated the party colors, so your party members and their Titans now show up on the minimap with green colors instead of the normal blue colors that is just like all their friendlies. And their names are also drawn green in your HUD, the obituary text, and in the pre-game lobby. So this will help you out telling where your friends are actually at, because it was kind of difficult, right? So I play with friends or I play with subscribers a lot when I play Titanfall, and it's kind of difficult sometimes. They're like, hey dude, he's behind you. Oh wait, that's not you. Because you're looking at the minimap and you can't tell who's who. Well, now there's going to be a distinct color for people that are in your party on your minimap and in the kill feed. And you can tell what's happening. You can tell what's happening with your friends. And it's a good thing overall. There's a few other things that came to Titanfall, but they're not really ones I really think need to be specified in this video. So I'm just going to skip past them, or we're going to jump down to game balancing changes. And this is where the good stuff happens. So there's a bunch of tweaks, a bunch of nerfs, some buffs, and Titanfall is going to be a bit different because of these game balance changes, and I like it. So number 1 is the Gooser Challenge. Alright, so if you guys are unaware, the Gooser Challenge is a challenge when you are 5th generation that you need to do if you actually want to go up to 6th generation, where you have to kill 50 enemy pilots as they are ejecting from their Titans, like while they're up in the air. It is a ridiculous challenge that I cannot imagine even doing. Right now, I am 4th gen at making this video. I'm still in the 4th generation, and I almost don't want to go to 5th gen because I'll never be able to finish that challenge. I've never actually killed anybody as they were ejecting. I just haven't done it. So let me read you what they wrote about the Gooser Challenge. Based on recent feedback from fans of the game, the Gen 5 challenge requirement Gooser requires players to kill 50 ejecting pilots, and it will now be reduced to 5 total. We had a couple of design goals for regeneration. One of them was to give players a structured way to discover and experience ways of playing the game that they might not have otherwise tried on their own. And the second was to recognize players' mastery of various skills, going beyond just time played. So that's what I kind of like about the idea of regeneration. You know, it's not like the Call of Duty Prestige system where it's like, okay, all you gotta do is just keep playing and you'll get to the top rank. Now it's more about you have to actually level up, you gotta put the time in, and you have to be good with a bunch of different stuff and complete challenges to do a bunch of different things. But I think overwhelmingly that the entire Titanfall community was like, this Gooser Challenge is freaking ridiculous. Like, when I play Titanfall, you'll see just a ton of 5th generation pilots, and they're all level 50 because they can't regenerate. They can't go to 6th generation because they need to do this stupid Gooser Challenge. So taking it from 50, which was absurd, down to 5, which is, I think that's pretty awesome. I mean, it's still going to be difficult to get to 5 kills, but it's definitely cool they dropped that from 50 down to 5. So next up, we got the 40mm actually receiving a nerf. So I'm going to read this from the article. The default magazine size was making the 40mm too powerful. It was intended to be the only weapon that can take down a Titan without reloading if you use skillfully. However, 20 rounds per magazine was proving to be too high and overly tolerant of indiscriminate fire. We're reducing it to 12 rounds per magazine, which still allows players to take down a Titan without reloading, but helps balance it out against other Titan weapons. The extended mag has also been dropped from 25 to 16, with the same design principles applying to the change. So the 40mm was definitely good. I never thought it was like super game breaking. For me personally, I mean, every time I regenerate, they continue to make you try all these different kinds of Titan weapons, but I still stick to my guns and say the chain gun's the best one. That chain gun with extended mag is my favorite one. If I could only use one Titan weapon, it would be the chain gun. But the 40mm was good, and I never ran into issues of it being overpowered or anything, but they've kind of decided, you know what, it is pretty powerful, and I guess in the right hands it is very powerful. So they've nerfed the magazine size as well as the extended magazine size for the Titan 40mm weapon. And apparently that's a good thing. We'll have to see how that works out. Next up, we have the quad rocket, which is going to be getting some changes. So apparently the quad rocket used to be ridiculously powerful during the development of the game, and so they had to nerf it down a little bit. But now that the game's out, now people are playing with it, the developers are starting to say, you know, the quad rocket's actually kind of weak sauce. And so what they're doing is they're actually going to be buffing up the magazine sizes. So previously, the quad rocket Titan weapon had 4 shots in a magazine and it had 5 shots if you had extended mag. Well, now it has 5 shots by default and 6 if you have extended mag, basically giving you 1 extra shot. And the quad rocket rapid fire mode is actually going to get a buff in its magazine size as well. So apparently the rapid fire mode was rather weak. I mean, that's what they thought. Me personally, I think the rapid fire is ridiculously powerful on the quad rocket. I'm actually using it in my current generation challenges, but apparently they're buffing up the rapid fire mods magazine from 16 to 18, so that's going to help it out a little bit. Me personally, I think the quad rocket rapid fire is one of the best Titan weapons in the game. It's freaking amazing compared to the regular quad rocket. I mean, the regular quad rocket was bad. The rapid fire one was really good, and it's also getting a magazine buff, so that's going to be a good thing. Next up, we have Hardpoint Domination, which is going to be changing around quite a bit in terms of their scoring. So initially when the game came out, Hardpoint Domination, you could just kind of hoard the XP just by sitting in a hardpoint. Right, that's all you did. Okay, I'm just going to sit here, and you got like 75 points, I believe it was, like every 3 seconds just for sitting in the flag that you had. Like, you just go camp a corner near your flag and just rack up all the XP. That's how it was working. They ended up nerfing that with the last update, and with this current update, they want to make it a point to try and make it more rewarding for people who are playing the objective and Hardpoint Domination, which Hardpoint Domination is my favorite game mode in Titanfall. So it's definitely a cool thing. So a couple of things they changed around here in terms of the scoring is capturing a hard point has been buffed from 150 XP to 250 XP. So that's pretty cool. You get an extra 100 XP when you capture a hard point. Now, assisting in the capturing of hard point goes from 75 XP to 100 XP. So we're getting a buff for that. Neutralizing a hard point goes from 50 XP to 150 XP. So way more for that. Assisting in neutralizing a hard point goes from 25 XP to 75 XP. That's been pretty nice. Also, apparently getting kills on enemy players that are actually near their flag is actually going to get reducing in points, which I'm not quite sure I understand that. So basically, if you're near the enemy flag and you kill a guy, or if you're really far away from the enemy flag and you kill a guy that's on the enemy flag, or if you're on the enemy flag and they're on the enemy flag, no matter what, now you get 50 points instead of 75. So maybe they did that to try and balance out the fact that you're getting so much points for actually capturing the flag and less points for actually, you know, just killing people. Maybe it's trying to reduce spawn trapping and trying to get people to move around a little bit more. It definitely worked for Black Ops 2. Definitely worked in Black Ops 2 Domination with the way the score streak system worked. Definitely people want to play the objective to get their score streaks. And maybe we're going to have the same thing happening here in Titanfall. I'm not sure. But they definitely changed around a lot of the scoring systems in Hardpoint Domination, as well as Capture the Flag, which I'm just going to go ahead and not try and cover all of them because it's going to take forever and this video is already going on long enough. There was also a few bug fixes. A lot of them were stuff I've never really even ran into, but apparently they were an issue and they actually start fixing it. For example, the Archer rocket launcher now locks onto the top of heavy turrets rather than at the base of the heavy turrets. Basically what I'm going to do for you guys is in the video description of this, I'm going to link you over to Titanfall.com and you guys can actually see their patch update. You can read through every single thing for yourselves. I basically picked out what I believe to be the highlights or the key points of this update and decided to go ahead and read them off for you guys in this video, kind of give you guys a quick update because I feel as though these are like the most important ones and a lot of the other stuff is like, you know, stuff that kind of matters, but it really isn't going to affect you overall too much. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to leave a rating. And Titanfall, man, this is very nice. It's very nice. I'm not afraid to go to the 5th generation anymore because they finally nerfed that Gooser challenge, and that's going to be freaking nice. So expect some more Titanfall videos coming up in the near future. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to leave a rating. Hope you guys all have a wonderful day.